Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where today we're breaking down all the goal scored by Newcastle against Wolves, in this horrible break after the international break. I can't stand it. I don't even know why they bothered to start the season. Just play 4 weeks of the international break so we can actually start getting a run of games, learn about our football teams, and then just enjoy watching football instead of stopping for 2 weeks. Everyone comes back and it's all a mess. But honestly, Wolves played okay in this game at bits, but then there was some free-flowing football from Newcastle, and they probably should have got 1 or 2 goals. But Wolves maybe should have got themselves on the score sheet as well. And we're going to look at this right now from kickoff. A long ball, very, very. So I used to have some really good high-end coaches that I used to not sort of copy, but 100% copy, because what you generally do if you want to become a good coach is look at what good coaches are doing and then try to make it your own and go, yeah, I'm going to use a bit of that. And what they always used to do from kickoff is just smack the ball as far as they could into the corner and do a similar pattern to this, where they would make sure they'd have a person that basically run down the line. And why that person would run down the line is if anyone touched it, they would run in and try to do anything. And quite often what happened is the person that was running down the line would end up being the person coming across and challenging for the ball, and then normally header it straight to the goalkeeper. Then actually, it wouldn't really help them. But in this sort of aspects here, we've got a player that's winning the header or trying to knock on, and then the runner from the line on the deep position is coming in. It's a shame his first touch isn't good enough there. Do you see he's had to turn and change and come back this way? If he didn't, and the first touch is a little bit more out in front of him, he's got himself a goal. Absolutely got himself a goal. He's controlled it, pulled it away from the defender, and that means, do you see that little stumble there? He's got no other opportunity. Well, he might be able to take another touch and bring it in on his left foot, but he's going on his strong foot, and he has to hit the target. Isn't good enough. Not at this level. You need to hit the target and get yourself a goal. Doesn't. Keeper doesn't make a save. Goes past. It's just not good enough. Another opportunity here, by the way, and even though they gave it a corner, the keeper didn't make a save. He didn't touch that. So from this corner here, simple thing. I always talk about it almost every single week. I just did it in the Arsenal game from Forest not defending properly, and you can see Newcastle not defending properly. You cannot ever allow 2 players on top of the D. You always need to keep a player here near the D so you can challenge for the ball after. So on the second ball. So after the first ball, whatever's happened to it, the ball breaks, and then you can challenge for the second ball. If you don't have a player here, things like this happen where it breaks and all of a sudden takes a touch, smack, off it goes. You have to have people around this D to win the second ball for you, or to hold the ball so you can transition down the other end of the field. More and more Premier League teams are going to get goals scored on them this season because they don't do it. Last season, I kept a running count. I might have to start doing the same this season because it's already starting to become a bit of a mess. It really is. But let's move it on. Do you have to give credit to the Wolves goalkeeper here from a point-blank save? Should have been a finish. The finish wasn't good enough, wasn't tidy enough, but credit to the keeper. He's got to make the save, and he does. While we're giving credit to Wolves players, I've got to show you this. This is a fantastic pass. Splits the defence right the way. I mean, that's a worldy pass. Well done, young man. Well done. Not only seeing it, the runs quality, just the accuracy on this pass is just boom, straight down, splitting everyone. Anything other than what he's just done, and someone's getting a touch on it, that's absolutely perfect. That deserved a goal. That pass was absolutely fantastic. If he just whipped it in, I know there had been offside on the back post here. Too lazy, but that was quality. Wolves showing some fight. Maybe they're not going to be as terrible as everybody thinks they are. Everyone was looking for a foul for this. To me, it's just not a foul. You've got a grown man running against a child, and the child falls over. That's pretty much what happened. Sorry, bump, get out of the way. It's football. I mean, I don't know why everyone thinks it's a non-contact sport. Oh, he's put his arm across his face. Yes. But still not really a foul. Still going for the ball. They're both full running, and here's the other issue: when you watch things in slow motion, they look a million times worse than they actually are. If the Newcastle players actually got possession of the ball, that is a foul all day long, but he doesn't. It's just 2 people going for the ball, and there's the differences and distinctions that people don't really understand. You can't just say it's a foul because I think it's a foul. There's other factors that need to come in. Do you have possession of the ball? Well, no, it's not a foul then. Carry on. But yeah. A child getting run over by a man, Nothing more, nothing less. Now we're getting on to the Newcastle goal. Now, I've got to give their new striker some credit. He actually looks a bit mustard. He could do some damage if Newcastle start whipping in crosses like this. But it all comes down to Wolves doing absolutely nothing. I'm going to show you so many problems here. You've got 2 defenders. Here's the football. Guess what the 2 defenders are going to do? You got it. Not pressure the ball in any way, shape or form. Casually jogging. No. You're in the 29th minute. That's a sprint. You need to be sprinting and closing down that space straight away. And also what you need to be doing is sprinting at an angle kind of like that and taking away this area here so he can't play that inside pass there. That's what you need to be thinking right now as you see that. You see that whole picture. You cannot allow that pass and you cannot allow him to have this much time on the ball. Cannot happen. Now, remember I said there was 2 clowns over here. There's the second one. He's gone for a walkabout. He was over here a minute ago. Now he's walked over to here. So he was right next to these 2 players, but he's decided to go, no, I'm going to come in and mark the space. I know what he's thinking, but he's completely wrong. He's thinking about covering the space here so they can't play this ball in behind. They can still play the ball in behind. You've completely hung yourself out to dry. It's not your responsibility. You've gone too far over to the one side. Now what you have to do is stick to your guns because there's 2 players over there and get over there and help. You're not pressuring the ball still. You stood there like a lemon. Look how casually that ball's passed. Look where these 2 players are. From the ball being passed to there, and these 2 being nice and tight and being able to do something, didn't pressure the ball properly, so he didn't come out and do anything. He jogged away from the area, opening up the space for him to receive the ball, and all he's doing is waiting to pass it to his mate over here. Again, it's not going to challenge for the ball. Because that's not what you do in the Premier League. You stand around a lot and you go, oh, he's got the ball. Am I supposed to get it? Let me check my coaching reference sheet. He's number... it's not in my zone. It's not in my zone. I don't have to get it. It's definitely not in my zone. It's not my responsibility. Look how much time this guy's got on the ball. He's sitting there. Right, look at the defender. He's gone running over here to mark the player down the wing. Oh, I forgot about the football. It's not really important. I'm not marking the football. Don't. I'm not going to go to the football. I marked the player down the wing. I've done it in a coaching court licensing thing when we mark the player on the overlap. Yeah, but the ball. No, we don't mark. We don't pressure the ball here. No, we don't worry about the football. We'll let him kick it to his teammate in the box and kick it on his head. And that's exactly what happens. But don't worry, it gets worse. So here you are, a defender. And you're marking up your player 1v1. You know him, you see him, you got him. You, under no circumstances, let him ghost in behind you. You can see exactly what he wants to be doing because, well, you're watching him. Nope, forget that. As the ball comes in, you've let him sneak in behind you because you're not doing your job properly. Remember, look at the ball, look at the player, look at the ball, look at the player. He hasn't done that. He's looked at the player, staring him out like, oh, I got you. Turns around, looks at the ball. Oh, wait, oh, he's kicked it. Too late. The ball's in the back of the net box. Boom. Shocking defending. You can't be that close, paying attention to him, and then still let him ghost in behind you. Even though it's a good run. Newcastle get themselves a goal. Get themselves out a little bit of a danger with the results they've been previously having right now. They needed a win on the boards to drag themselves up to that fight for the top 4. Don't think they'll make it this year. I think Newcastle have got an issue where every time they make the Champions League, they sort of put their club 2 years back again. Hopefully they'll pick up some signings in January to boost their squad. They really need to. It's not that they need great players. That isn't the thing. They just need players of the same quality that they've got. So when 1 or 2 of them are out, they can stay at the same level. If they do that, they'll be challenging for the top 4 again easy. They just need reinforcements because the amount of games through the Champions League always seems to get this club for some reason. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.